So many people want one thing with their conscious mind. I want a new job, I want a new career, I want a new life. And yet their subconscious mind has been programmed. Now think about a program. When you create a program, it's automatic. When you create a program, it runs. So the person is, with their 5% of their conscious mind, is having this desire for something, and yet their subconscious mind is doing something else. As an example, I used to take my oldest son golfing with me, and he used to say to me when we were on the fairway, I'm really worried about hitting that tree. And I would say to him, what tree? Because if you're worried about hitting that tree, what is the imagery that your brain is creating? You're worried about not hitting it. You're doing that with your conscious mind, but your subconscious mind is creating the picture of you actually hitting the tree. That's why you're saying it. So the subconscious is 95%, so more than likely your body is going to do exactly what it's programmed to do. So what's the relevance of that? Well, people say I want wealth, but they're programmed into being unworthy and lacking, right? So then as they begin to do the meditative work and they start opening their heart, I was just talking to someone yesterday. When you open the center, things are going to sift to the top. All the programs are going to come right up. And when they come up like that, you're going to see why it isn't manifesting in your life. Now, don't see it as like, why is this happening? Did I do something wrong? The subconscious is actually venting. There's a certain period of time in the early mornings where we vent our anxieties. We vent our fears. It's the way the subconscious goes, let's just have this dream and let's just get it over with. So the subconscious is saying, what if you hit the tree? What if you're actually going to hit the tree? You're going to hit the tree because that's exactly the imagery you have when you're trying to create something. You're saying, I really want this because I'm really afraid of dying. I'm really afraid of failure. I'm really afraid of rejection, right? So the person is subconsciously and unconsciously creating the imagery that's actually being revealed to them. So how do we change that? Well, really simple. We got to start rehearsing like a new way. We got to start getting into those deep brainwave states, getting beyond the analytical mind, slowing our brainwaves down, getting into the operating system, and start reprogramming. Okay, so when this happens, these are the things I'm going to do. These are the things I'm going to do to create that, and start rehearsing those steps, priming and reprogramming the brain into a new outcome. So I have had that many years in my life, but I always have seen it as a strong sign, a strong symbol that I got something switched in my brain. I could say that people say I want to be healthy. Yeah, it's 5% of your conscious mind, but you set them at the dinner table and they're breaking all the rules of everything they said. So why does that happen? Because the program is running and they've lost their free will to a program. So now, that's important because your subconscious is talking to you. Now you got to get in there. You got to get in there and start rehearsing that you're going to step away from the table, that you're not going to eat after a certain hour, that you're going to make better choices, and rehearse them and remember what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. Now you begin to, on a fundamental level, begin to rewrite the script, begin to rewrite the program. And over time, if you make one or two new choices and restrain some old choices, you'll tend to make more better choices after you make a few, because you'll start feeling the satisfaction of your efforts. So don't see it as like doing something wrong. It's just that the mind is polarized. And people will say that they want something, but the subconscious is saying, look, this is really what's happening. So get in there now. Now you have the information to begin to unlearn those subconscious programs and begin to rewrite some new ones. The body that has become the mind is so afraid to step into the unknown. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it'll do everything it can to distract us. You get an itch, you get a pain, you get gas, you get a headache, you get nauseous. This is all the body going, no. The last time you stepped out into the unknown, it didn't go very well. You got betrayed, you got manipulated, you got taken. You felt a lot of pain. So it's just like, on my ranch, the stallions are in these big paddocks. And when I first had my stallions, I wouldn't put any hot lines around there. And, they could smell the mares up on the top of the property, and they would literally run right through the wooden fences, just like these big animals just breaking through and running up the hill. Well, they're just, nature was calling, But you put a hot line on there, and they hit that hot line a few times, you can walk them right up to that hot line and they will not go any further. That's conditioned. You notice a change in your internal state, you become awake and aware, and you pay attention to what caused it, and you narrow your focus on that line. Do it a few times, and you take a stallion, you try to move that stallion past that point, and they will not move. You can get 5 guys to push them, and they'll push them all backwards. They've been conditioned into the box, right? So that's what pain does for us, right? You're like, I don't want that to happen again. So the body is already programmed to make sure that it doesn't. So you start taking the person out of their comfort zone, out of the known, and the body's going, well, I don't know if I want to do this, and it does all those things. Follow the instructions. Take your attention off your body, and every time your body starts doing that, settle it down into the present moment and say, I'm going to let you sleep later. I'm going to let you eat later. You can drink coffee later. You can open your eyes and take a shower later. You can lay down. You can do whatever. But right now, you're no longer the mind. I'm the mind. Mm-hmm. And every time it does that, you settle it back down into the present moment and you unfold back into possibility. You're training that horse. You're retraining the horse and telling it it's no longer the mind, that you're the mind. And just like training any animal, sooner or later, it's going to realize that your will is greater than the program, and it's going to finally surrender. And when it does, there's always a liberation of energy, and everybody always says the same thing. I'm so glad I stuck with it. It was so worth it. I pushed myself further than I thought I can go. And every time you push yourself further than where you think you could go, you're in the unknown. So the moment you scratch your head, you're back in the known. The moment you start yawning, your body's going, I don't want to do this. But hey, listen, if you're going to have a date with the divine, and you're showing up yawning and scratching and disinterested, you don't even believe it exists. If you knew that divine was a loving intelligence, and that it is the very fabric of everything material, and that it's been present the whole entire time, and you got to meet it. with the same energy. Your mind has to match its mind. Your love for life has to match its love for life. Your will has to match its will. And when you do, and you eclipse with that intelligence, you won't be yawning. You won't be itching. You will be stunned by its magnificence. So many people they go at it kind of half speed, and they go at it like, I don't want to do this, or I'm tired, or that's the body mind talking as they go into it unconsciously. But if you knew that you could create something new by changing your energy, and that you could connect to this intelligence that's real, what would you bring to the date? You'd be on time. You would be present. You would be engaged. You would bring your best. You wouldn't let anybody or anything distract you, just like your date with a lover. You wouldn't miss that date for anything. You would move mountains to make sure that you had time for that person. Well, we're talking about the prima materia here. I mean, if you're showing up that way, then there's a program that you're already thinking that it doesn't exist subconsciously, or that you can't arrive at, or it's too hard, or it takes too much work, or whatever people do when they resign. But when you say, I don't want my breakfast, I don't want my coffee, I don't want my tea, I don't want my sleep, I don't want my shower, I don't want my cell phone, I don't want my comfort, I don't want any of these things. I want you more than anybody else. You are the object of my affection. And you bring your best. I mean, think about this. People step into the altar of the divine, and they complain all the time. Like, they beg for things. I mean, do you want a relationship? Think about it. Do you want to be in a relationship with someone who's asking for things, for you to do things all the time for them? They're needing things all the time, that they're begging. Sooner or later, you're just going to be like, I don't have time for this, because you're not connecting first, right? Mm-hmm. So connect with that intelligence and understand that you have to match it in its presence, and that you have to make a commitment when you sit down. You're going to sit up like a noble being, that you are going to disconnect from everyone or anything, and you're saying, this is my time. I'm investing my time and attention into the divine. I'm putting my attention on the unknown, and I want to see feedback in my life to let me know that this intelligence is real. And I'm making time to emulate it, to become it, to connect with it. And no person, no thing, no experience, no place is going to take me from my attention to it. And now you're going to get an electrical signal, and your body's going to be like jumping on a horse and grabbing your legs and wrapping around and giving a little kick, like, let's ride. The horse knows the moment the rider gets on and grabs it and kicks it like we ride, the horse knows that it's no longer the mind, that somebody else with a greater intelligence is now the mind. So many people have been conditioned into believing how powerless they are. They don't think that their thoughts make a difference, that their feelings make a difference, that their gestures go unseen, that they're ever seen. People have been conditioned that they don't matter, that they're powerless. That is absolutely not the truth. Sit up like a noble being. Command the present moment and say, for these 45 minutes or half an hour or 20 minutes or an hour, whatever it is that's for you, this is who I become. And you don't get up until that person. Your body is going to sooner or later get very, very excited about connecting to it, because that feeling is going to be electric, and I can guarantee you won't be yawning or scratching or any of that stuff. You're going to leave that way behind. That's just the body, and it just needs a master to step in and say, this is my time and this is how we do it.
Wow, what a great video! I hope you enjoyed this amazing interview with Dr. Joe Dispenza. We are continuing with our daily practice of completing the inspiring quotes. You need to complete the quote with the words that are missing, and if you can do it first and give us the right answer, you're the daily winner. In the previous video we were looking for 2 words of Joe Dispenza's quote. The quote goes like this: same thoughts always lead to the same choices. Same choices lead to the same behaviors, and the same behaviors lead to, and the correct answer is, same experiences. So, same thoughts always lead to the same choices lead to the same behaviors, and the same behaviors lead to the same experiences. Congratulations to everyone with the correct answer. We only had a few wrong answers. Since I know we love Joe Dispenza, today's quote is also from Dr. Joe Dispenza. We are looking for 2 words. So the quote goes like this: meditation opens the door between the conscious and... Write your answers in the comments below the video and tell me if you love this video and our new way of ending the videos. If you love this video, give your thumbs up and share it with your friends. Help me make this video more popular by sharing it. Even if you're not sure what the correct answer is, try and guess. The first one with the correct answer is the winner. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button and don't miss any of the new videos and new challenges. If you really like what we do here and want to support us, you can join our channel and our community for a symbolic fee and gain many other additional features. You can do that by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button. Or you can click on the link in the description of this video. Stay good and have a great day.